Hi.
Hi everyone, happy hump day, happy Wednesday. 6 p.m. Wednesday night, ready to get strong, ready to dial in here on a little bit on our mats today. So today is 100% donation-based yoga, and 100% of the donations is going to Solutions Not Punishment Collaborative. And that collaborative is a Black trans-led, broad-based collaborative to restore Atlanta. And in Atlanta, where every person does not always have the opportunity to grow and thrive without facing those unfair barriers. So today in our class, we are going to keep them in our hearts and in our minds. We're going to go ahead and get started today, actually in a modified hero's pose. So here you just come on to the ankles, and if this is uncomfortable for you, you can always find an easy seat. Just a reminder, this is your practice. This is the time that you've set out for yourself. So if I ever cue anything that does not call to you, honor your body and honor your breath. There's no judgment on your mats. We're gonna go ahead and get started here, shutting the eyes down and just letting your day go. Following the natural cadence of your breath, noticing how that breath makes your belly rise and fall. If you're looking for more of a grounding practice today, you can place both palms onto the thighs. If you're ready to receive any energy that we're about to create together as a community, go ahead and plant the palms facing the ceiling. And an introspective practice, place one palm on the heart center and the other palm underneath the low belly, feeling that prana, that energy, that life force within you. This opportunity is an encouragement to be exactly who you are. This time on your mat is for you to step into the spotlight, to stand up for what you know is right, and to show your true colors. Remembering that yoga is a call to action. As long as there is collective injustice, there cannot be personal enlightenment. So can we let the day go, let the week go, and just be here in this moment? Breathing as consciously as possible. Starting to take one full breath together. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs, let the collarbone expand. Hold this breath at the top of the throat, and then open the mouth, audible exhale, let something go. Ha! Make some noise here. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs, let the chest rise. Hold this breath at the top of the throat, and then open the mouth, audible exhale, let something go. Ha! Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs, holding this breath at the top of the throat, and then sealing the lips, letting the heat escape through both nostrils. Starting to dial into your Ujjayi Pranayama, or your victorious breath. In this breath, we build heat with the body by creating a slight constriction in the back of your throat as if you're fogging up a glass or a mirror. As that oceanic sound rolls in and out of the body, can you come back to your intention? Can you find that power within, that something that carries you through this class? Starting to blink the eyes open, maybe a slight gaze towards the nose. We inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up. Bring the palms together to kiss. Take a slight back bend here, send the gaze towards the ceiling. And then exhale, release the left palm onto the right knee, sending the right fingertips towards the earth behind the tailbone. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, grow a little bit taller. Exhale, can you send your gaze behind the right shoulder blade? Find that twist in the spine. Inhale, coming back through center, root to rise, reach all the way up, palms come together to kiss. And then exhale, sending the right palm onto the left knee, Sending the left palm behind you, right behind the tailbone. Take one big inhale here, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, can you twist a little bit deeper, sending the gaze behind the left shoulder. Inhale, coming back through center. Both palms root to rise, reach all the way up, bring them together to kiss. And then take that slight back bend, sending the gaze towards the ceiling. Exhale, releasing the palms towards the earth, moving into a neutral tabletop pose. In this tabletop pose, our wrists are directly underneath the shoulder blades, knees are hips width distance apart underneath the hips. We untuck those toes, drop the belly low, send the gaze high, bolster your heart towards the stars, open up the chest here. Exhale, ground down into the palms, round the spine, gazes to the navel, cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly low, open up the chest, send your tailbone high, cow pose. Exhale, ground down into the palms, round the spine, gazes to the navel, find that protraction in your shoulders. Coming back to neutral tabletop here. Tucking those toes, active listening. Paying attention to our architectural lines, wrists directly underneath the shoulder blades, knees are underneath the hips. Tucking those toes, rising 2.5 inches off the earth, finding this lifted tabletop. In this lifted tabletop, gazes in between the palms. Press the earth away from you. Find that slight protraction in the shoulder blades. Activate in your core. You are strong, yogis, holding here in this lifted pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow and controlled, releasing the knees down to the earth, untucking the toes. Sending the left palm to reach out in front of you as if you're shaking someone's hand. Pressing into this right palm, can you slowly start to send the right heel back? Squaring off the hips, sending the right toes towards the earth. We take one big inhale here. Exhale, crunch the knee in towards the elbow, round the spine, protract in the shoulders. Release, reach forward. Exhale, round the spine, send the elbow towards the knees, activate the core. And then release forward. Last one, elbow to knee, round the spine, crunch it in, feel that fire within that core. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing this left palm down to the earth, active listening. We're starting to send the right heel back, maybe adjusting that left knee for a stronger foundation, and then sending the heel towards the sky. So press the earth away from you, finding that strong foundation on our mats. Tucking the left toes here. Big move. We're moving right into three-legged dog from here. Really feel your strength. Push the earth away from you, lifting, sending the right heel high to the sky, three-legged dog. In this three-legged dog, bending in this right knee and then starting to create big circles with this right knee. Maybe moving clockwise. Really warming up this hip here. Maybe you switch the direction to counterclockwise. Grounding evenly into both palms, take one more big inhale in this three-legged dog. Exhale, release the right foot down towards the earth. Send both knees towards your mat, finding your way into that neutral tabletop pose. Once again, paying attention to those lines, wrists directly underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Untuck the toes, let's run through a few cat-cows here. Option to stay on the knees, or option to challenge yourself here by lifting 2.5 inches and running through those cat-cows with lifted knees. Inhale, drop the belly low, open up the chest, send the gaze high towards the sky. Exhale, ground down into the palms, round the spine, protract in the shoulder blades, gazes to the navel. One more cat-cow, drop the belly low, open up the chest. Exhale, ground down into the palms, round the spine, gazes to the navel. If you're on lifted knees, come back onto the toes, come back onto the mat. And then inhale, take one full breath here. Exhale, release. Inhale, reaching that right palm in front of you as if you're shaking someone's hand. Plug that shoulder towards the back wall and then slowly start to bring the left heel high to the sky. Keeping that squareness of the hips, take one big inhale here. Exhale, knee to elbow, round the spine, crunch it in, protract in the shoulder blades. Release, reach forward. Exhale, knee to elbow, round the spine, protract the shoulders. Release forward. Last one, inhale, squeeze it in. Exhale, send the elbow towards the knee. Press the earth away from you with this left palm holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing the right palm down towards the earth. Sending the left heel behind you to stamp towards the ceiling here. So we're pressing both palms into the earth evenly. Maybe you adjust yourself and give that knee a little bit of a break. The left heel is high towards the sky, tucking the right toes, moving into that three-legged dog from here. You got this, yogis. Take one big inhale with me. Exhale, press the earth away from you, finding your way into that three-legged dog. Nice power pose here. Bending into this left knee and then starting to create those big circles. First moving clockwise. And then switching the direction to counterclockwise. Getting nice and juicy in the synovial fluid of this left hip. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, release the left foot towards the right, finding your way into downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana here, creating that inverted V shape with our bodies. Feet are hips width distance apart. Palms are a little bit wider than shoulder width distance. We're pressing into the base knuckle of the index finger and the thumb. Sending the gaze towards the ankles to elongate the neck. If you suffer from low back pain, go ahead and bend the knees here. A little micro bend in the knees, never hurt anyone. Take one big breath in this downward facing dog. Exhale, release. Gaze is in between the palms. We slowly step, walk, jump, hop, or float to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift out of the Uttanasana, creating a number 7 with our spine. Plugging those shoulders into the back wall, finding a flat back. Take one full breath here. Exhale, release the chest towards the thighs, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach down from the mat all the way up. Gaze is in between the palms. Maybe you take a slight back bend. Exhale, swan dive, leading with the chest, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift out of the Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, moving into your high plank. So in this high plank, press the earth away from you. Feel your strength here. Sending the gaze in between the palms, maybe you drop down to the knees for modification. No judgment on your mat, whatever feels good to your body, but challenge yourself tonight. Take one big inhale with me in this high plank. Exhale, tuck those elbows in towards the ribs. Lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. In this low plank, can you take one big inhale here? Exhale, press the earth away from you, high plank. One breath here, fill the belly, fill the lungs, feel yourself. And then exhale, tuck those elbows into the ribs, lower all the way down onto the belly. Untucking the toes, finding your way in Bhujangasana or low Cobra pose. In this low Cobra pose, pressing the shoelace portion of our feet into the mat. Maybe you test your strength here by removing the palms from the mat and sending the elbows to magnetize towards one another. One big inhale here. Exhale, plant the palms into the earth, roll over the toes out of the Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Use this opportunity to get nice and funky in your down dog. Maybe grooving it out, bending in both knees. And then coming back to neutral spine. In this downward facing dog, send the gaze in between the palms. We slowly step, jump, hop, walk, or float to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift out of the Uttanasana. Plug those shoulders into that back wall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up. Send the gaze in between the palms. Maybe you take a slight back bend, letting the fingertips guide you from the ceiling. And then exhale, swan dive, leading with the chest, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, high to low plank. You flow, you grow. Option to tuck those elbows in towards the ribs and drop to the knees. If you're with me, sending the shoulders above the wrists just for a moment. saving the elbow cartilage, trying not to keep those elbows pointing out. Take one big inhale here in this upward facing dog. Pressing the palms into the earth, sending the shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, rolling over the toes out of the Navasana, downward facing dog. Option to find stillness in this down dog, or option to get nice and funky, generously bending in both knees, walking your dog out. One more sun A to really get things going, coming into that neutral, downward facing dog. Sending the gaze in between the palms, we walk, step, jump, hop, or float to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift out of the Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rip to rise, reach all the way up. Active listening. This time we're grabbing for the left wrist. And then moving over towards the right side, spiraling your chest towards the ceiling. Can you take one full breath here? Exhale, moving a little bit closer, seeing if you can deepen a little bit with that exhale. And then coming back through center. Grabbing the right wrist, grounding down into both heels, moving over towards the left side. Spiraling your chest towards the ceiling. Find expansion through this right lung. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, maybe you sink a little bit deeper. Inhale through center. Exhale, swan dive, leading with the chest, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, high to low plank. You flow, you grow. Tuck those elbows in towards the ribs as you lower down. Upward facing dog, pull the chest through, press the palms into the earth, let the shoulders melt away from the ears. Maybe you slightly tuck the chin in here. And then exhale, rolling over the toes, downward facing dog. Taking a moment to find your breath in this down dog. Bringing both feet together to touch at the back of your mat. I call this one zip up dog because we're activating the core here. Pressing evenly into both palms, sending the navel in towards the spine. Send the gaze towards the toes to elongate your neck. One more breath here. Exhale, right heel comes high to the sky. Option to point the toe, or option to find squareness in the hips, sending the right toes towards the earth. Bending into the knee and then creating those big circles once again with this right knee. First moving clockwise. And then if it feels good, switching the direction to counterclockwise. Inhale, three-legged dog, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in. Maybe you give your knee a kiss, shoulders over wrists. Three-legged dog. Right knee to right elbow, make a connection, hold. Three-legged dog. Right knee to left elbow, cross-body hold, feel those obliques work. And then releasing that right leg back, three-legged dog. Right knee towards the nose, round the spine, crunch it in, plant the right foot in between the palms. Opening up for an easy twist, right palm reaches high to the sky. Option to drop this left knee here if you need a modification. Take one big inhale here, fill the belly. And then exhale, grounding down into this right foot. Slow and controlled, we're rising up into a twisted lunge. Take your time in this twisted lunge to find your balance. The back heel is stacked above the back toe. Maybe you open up your wings a little bit wider. Take one full inhale here with me, yogis. You got this. Exhale, right palm comes behind you. Left palm starts to paint a rainbow towards the ceiling. Find your balance. And then slow and controlled, moving back into that easy twist, gazes to the right fingertips. One big inhale here, fill the belly. Exhale, goal posting in the arms, finding a slight opening in the chest, sending your gaze towards the ceiling. And then exhale, release all the way down. Palms come to frame the right foot. Active listening, sweeping the right foot all the way back, finding yourself in a three-legged dog. Option to skip your vinyasa here and meet in a child's pose. Or option to up level by keeping that right leg lifted. As you tuck those elbows into the ribs, lower down, upward facing dog. Exhale, big toes come together to touch. Sending the chest down towards the mat here, finding your first child's pose of this practice. In this child's pose, letting the third eye center come down to the earth. Taking this opportunity to come back to that intention that you set in the beginning of class. Whatever that intention may be, maybe it's exploring your own practice, finding that comfortability in your own skin. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, release that breath, let something go. Inhale, start to walk the palm close to the body, and then find your way in that zip up dog. So bring both feet together to touch at the back of your mat. Pressing evenly into both palms, sending the gaze towards the toes. Take one full inhale here. Exhale, left heel comes high to the sky. Option to point your toe for a little bit of finesse. Or maybe you square off the hips for more of a traditional take. Left toes are facing the earth here, bending into this left knee, and then starting to create those big circles. Really getting juicy in this left hip. Maybe switching the direction to counterclockwise. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in. Maybe you give that knee a kiss. Three-legged dog. Left knee to left elbow, make a connection, hold. Three-legged dog. Left knee to right elbow, cross body hold, feel those obliques work. Three-legged dog, left leg lifts. Left knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, plant the left foot in between the palms. Here in this pose, we're protracting our shoulder blades so much that we give ourselves that space to plant that left foot down. Left palm rises, finding that easy twist here, gazes towards the left fingertips. Grounding down into this left foot, taking our time, take one full breath. And then exhale, moving into that twisted lunge, taking your time to find that balance on your mat. No rush here, yogis. Open up those wings a little bit wider. Take one full inhale here. We're creating a right angle with this left knee. Exhale, left palm comes behind you. Right palm paints a rainbow towards the ceiling. And then slowly starting to bring the right palm down towards the earth, making your way into that easy twist. One breath here. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, goalpost the arms, find a heart opening, send the gaze towards the ceiling. Inhale, easy twist. Exhale, planting the left palm to frame this left foot. Sweeping the left foot all the way back, option to skip your vinyasa here. Or maybe you up level by keeping that left leg lifted. Tucking those elbows in towards the ribs as you lower down for that Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog, pull the chest through. Exhale, big toes coming together to touch. Sending the chest down towards the earth, finding your child's pose. This is your opportunity to reset here. Your opportunity to bring that intention back on your mat. Showing your true colors here, taking one big inhale here. And then exhale, releasing. Coming back into that neutral tabletop. I want us to, as a community, to shut the eyes down and take any free movement that your body is craving. So no judgment on your mat. Maybe you start to give the wrists a little bit of a break. Maybe you start to rock the neck back and forth. Maybe you start to jam out to the super loud rock music my neighbor decided to play right at 6 o'clock. Perfect timing. Wherever you are, find some stillness on your mat after moving and grooving. And then from here, paying attention to those lines once again, creating that strong foundation for ourselves. Wrists directly underneath the shoulder blades, knees or hips width distance apart underneath the hips. Tucking those toes, finding that lifted tabletop pose, feeling our strength. Building strength with the familiarity of this pose, feel that line of energy through palm to shoulders. Gaze is in between the palms, press the earth away from you, slightly protract in your shoulder blades. Holding here with lifted knees for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You got this, yogis. You are strong. Do not give up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Bringing both feet together to touch at the back of your mat. Let's take one reset breath. Inhale, both heels lift high to the sky. Exhale, can you start to sink the heels closer towards the earth, sending the gaze towards the toes to elongate the neck. Inhale, right heel lifts high to the sky, scorpion tailing right heel towards left glute. If that right armpit shoots up towards the ceiling in this scorpion tail, can you square it off towards your mat here? Taking one big inhale in the scorpion tail. And then exhale, three-legged dog. One more breath here in this three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, give that knee a kiss. Three-legged dog. Right knee to right elbow, active listening. This time we're sliding that knee down towards the right wrist. And then shooting that right leg back up, three-legged dog. Right knee to left elbow, cross body hold. Sliding the right foot down, moving into your wild thing. Pressing the right palm into the earth, sending the gaze high, moving into your fallen triangle here. Pressing this right palm into the earth, sending the chest a little bit higher. Take one full breath. Exhale, right palm comes down towards the earth. If you're here for those chaturanga push-ups, tuck those elbows into the ribs and lower down. Maybe you take no push-ups today and totally skip it, meeting us in that three-legged dog. Maybe you take just one, and then coming back into that three-legged dog, right leg high to the sky. Right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, plant the right foot in between the palms. And then opening up, finding that easy twist. We've been here before, yogis, you got this. Sending the gaze towards the right fingertips. Grounding down into this right foot, creating a strong foundation for ourselves. Inhale, rising up, finding that twisted lunge once again. Opening up the palms here, take one full inhale here. And then exhale, big move, moving the arms to sweep all the way up, finding yourself in a Crescent Warrior. So the difference between Crescent Warrior and Warrior One is both toes are pivoted towards the front. Maybe you move your stance a bit, and that's okay. Still creating that right angle with this right knee. Back heel is stacked above the toes, squeezing those thighs together, activating in those glutes. Shoulders melt away from the ears. Take one more breath here. Exhale, pivoting the left toe, committing to the bend in this right knee, making your way into Warrior Two. In this Warrior Two, our right knee is in line with our second toe. Letting the shoulders melt away from the ears here, sending the gaze or drishti towards the right fingertips. In this Warrior Two, take one full breath. Exhale, release. One more breath. You got this, yogis. Exhale, reaching for something you desire, and then finding peaceful warrior. Left palm melts down the left foot or left leg. Spiraling your chest towards the ceiling. Take one more breath here. Exhale, straightening in both legs. Reaching for something you desire, maybe shortening that stance a bit. And then making your way into that Trikonasana triangle pose. Sending your gaze towards the left fingertips here. Trying not to dump all the weight into this right palm. Maybe you press the earth away from you with that chin, sending the gaze right over here. And as if your body's in two panes of glass, can you slightly tuck that tailbone here? One more breath, inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, reverse Trikonasana, reaching behind you, straightening in both legs. And then exhale, moving down to Trikonasana one more time. In this Trikonasana, take one full breath. Try not to dump all the weight into this right palm. We're bringing that imaginary beach ball from the earth. And then using those obliques, taking your time, we're rising all the way up through center. Feet come to frame this right side or left side, and then bringing the palms onto the hips. Bending in both knees, finding that flat back, moving into that wide-legged forward fold. A few different options in this wide-legged forward fold. If inversions are in your practice and you'd like to play, you're more than welcome. If you're with me, I'm planting both palms underneath the shoulder blades. Taking one big inhale here, halfway lift, micro bend in the knees to avoid hyperextension. And then exhale, maybe you release the chest a little bit deeper towards the earth, sending the crown a little bit closer towards your mat. One more breath here in this wide-legged forward fold. And then slow and controlled, if you're in that inversion, meeting us back in the forward fold. Palms come to grab both hips, bending generously into both knees, and then rising up with a flat back. From here, pivoting the right toes towards the front of the room, cartwheeling the palms to frame this right foot. Taking one big step forward, finding your way in a pyramid pose. Before you melt the heart down, can you take a halfway lift, lengthen through the spine? Exhale, surrender the heart a little bit closer towards the right shin. Getting nice and juicy in this right hamstring here. Maybe you stay here exploring in this pose, sinking a little bit deeper with every exhale. Maybe you challenge yourself a little bit more by lifting the right toes. Take one more breath here. Exhale, releasing the right foot down towards the earth. Sweeping the right foot all the way back, finding that three-legged dog. Option to drop that right foot down to the earth. Or maybe you stay for that one-legged chaturanga, tucking those elbows in towards the ribs, choosing your own journey through your vinyasa. Upward facing dog, pull the chest through. Exhale, child's pose, big toes come together to touch. Sending the chest down towards the earth, taking this opportunity to towel off. Maybe grabbing some water here. Coming back to that intention that you set in the beginning of class. This encouragement here on your mats is for you to be exactly who you are. To let those true colors shine. To fight and stand up for what you believe in. Take one big breath. Exhale, dialing into the power within ourselves, starting to walk the palms close to the body. And then making our way into that downward facing dog. Bringing both feet together to touch at the back of your mat, creating that inverted V shape here. Sending the gaze between the toes, take one reset breath with me. Inhale, both heels lift high to the sky. Exhale, sink them deep into the mat. Left heel comes high to the sky for three-legged dog, option to point the toe. Or maybe you square off the hips, sending the left toes towards the earth. Scorpion tailing left heel towards right glute. In this scorpion tail, if that left armpit shoots up towards the ceiling, can you square it off towards your mat? Grounding evenly into both palms, take one full inhale here. Exhale, three-legged dog. Left knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in. Maybe you give that knee a kiss. Three-legged dog. Left knee to left elbow, make a connection. Slide the left knee down towards the wrist just for a moment before you bring that right foot back up into that three-legged dog. Finding fluidity in this vinyasa, left knee to right elbow, cross body hold. Slide the left foot down towards the earth, and then moving into our fallen triangle or wild thing. In this wild thing, press the left palm into the mat. Feel your strength, lift the chest a little bit higher. We're here for one inhale. Exhale, right palm comes down towards the mat. If you're here for those chaturanga push-ups, tuck those elbows into the ribs and take them. If you'd like to skip these push-ups today, no worries. Take your time by meeting us in that three-legged dog, left leg high to the sky. Left knee towards the nose, round the spine, crunch it in, plant the left foot in between the palms. Keeping that right palm grounded. And then opening up, finding that easy twist, sending the gaze towards the left fingers. Take one big, expansive breath through this left lung here. Exhale, release. Grounding down into this left foot. Maybe shortening your stance a bit to find a strong foundation. We're rising up into that twisted lunge. Creating that right angle with this left knee. Our back heel is stacked above the toe. Opening the wings a little bit wider. Take one full breath here. Exhale, sweeping the arms, bringing both palms high to the sky, sending both toes to pivot towards the front of the room. Crescent Warrior. In this Crescent Warrior, creating that right angle with this left knee. Squeezing those thighs together, activating in the glutes, letting the shoulders melt down the spine. Control the breath, control the mind. You got this, yogis. One more inhale here. Exhale, pivoting the right foot. Committing to this bend in this left knee, finding our way into Warrior Two. In this Warrior Two pose, our left knee is in line with our left second toe. Squaring off the hips towards the right, sending your drishti or gaze towards the left fingertips. Let the shoulders melt down the spine here and slightly tuck your tailbone. One strong breath in this Warrior Two. Fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, reaching for something you desire, and then finding that peaceful warrior, letting the right palm melt down the right leg. Spiraling your chest towards the ceiling, take one full breath here. Exhale, reaching for something you desire. Straightening in this left leg, maybe shortening that stance a bit, and then hinging at the hips, trying not to dump all the weight into this left palm, finding Trikonasana or triangle pose. In this Trikonasana triangle pose, imagine yourself as a little toast in that perfect toaster. So slightly tuck that tailbone in. You're trying to fit the entire pastry in that toaster. Send the gaze towards the right fingers. Inhale, trying not to dump all the weight into this right palm. Maybe you press into the left shin. Inhale, reverse Trikonasana, straightening in both legs. And then exhale, finding your way back into Trikonasana triangle pose. This time, ensuring we're not dumping all the weight into this left palm. We're reaching for that imaginary beach ball here. Taking your time using those obliques, rising up through center, and then pivoting both legs towards the right. Grab opposite hips here. A slight bend in both knees. And then finding that flat back, making your way into a wide-legged forward fold. In this wide-legged forward fold, start to surrender the crown of your head towards the earth. Releasing the palms underneath the shoulders. Let's take a halfway lift. Grow strong. Feel the length in your spine grow a little bit taller. And then exhale, can you surrender the chest down towards the earth? Sending the crown of your head maybe to slightly touch. Or maybe you start to make your way in an inversion here. Wherever you are, finding that center stretch, slight micro bend in both knees. And just let the head hang heavy here. Taking one more breath, maybe reaching towards the left side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. If you're in that inversion, taking your time to come out of this pose, palms come underneath the shoulders. Micro bend in both knees, bringing the palms towards the hips. Rising up, flat back. And then pivoting this left toe to face the front of the mat. Maybe you generously step forward, shortening the stance. And then cartwheeling the palms, making your way into that pyramid pose. Before you melt in your pyramid pose, can you take a halfway lift? Grow tall in the spine to allow the chest to melt a little bit closer towards this left shin. Getting nice and juicy in this left hamstring. My left hamstring is really tight today, so I'm going to take an extra breath here. With every inhale, I lengthen through the spine. And exhale, using my breath as a tool to sink a little bit deeper in this variation. Sending the left hip back, gazes towards the right toes. Maybe you start to lift the left toes off the earth to find a little bit of a deeper stretch. One more breath here. You got this. Exhale, release the left foot down towards the earth. Planting the palms down, sweeping the left foot back, maybe keeping it lifted for a one-legged vinyasa. Choosing your journey through your vinyasa, shoulders come right above the wrists and then past. Tuck the elbows in towards the ribs as you lower down. Upward facing dog, pull the chest through. Exhale, making your way into that modified hero's pose as we started in class. In this modified hero's pose, bringing the palms into heart center here. Taking a moment of gratitude for our capable beating hearts. Taking a moment of gratitude that we showed up on our mats today. We showed up for a call to action. Taking this breath. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, let something go. Ha! One more breath here, taking a lion's breath. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Stick that tongue out, make some noise, let that shit go. Ha! That felt so good. Let's have one more. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, stick that tongue out, let something go. Starting to blink the eyes open. Palms come down towards the thighs. And then making your way here into that downward facing dog. We're going to set up for a nice lizard lunge to get nice and juicy in our hips. So bringing both feet together to touch at the back of your mat for that zip up dog. Palms press into the earth, sending the gaze towards the toes, elongate the neck. Inhale, right heel comes high to the sky. Exhale, can you bring that knee all the way towards the the right elbow, and then plant the right foot on the outside of the right palm. Slowly starting to bring both palms on the inside of the right leg, and then creating that nice L shape here. In this lizard lunge, maybe you stay here, pressing the palms into the earth, sending the gaze high. Maybe you come down onto the forearms if that feels good. Maybe you start to wake your way into lazy lizard. Wherever you are in this lizard lunge, can you take this opportunity to find the comfortability in the uncomfortability of this pose? Using your breath as a tool, control the breath, control the mind. Send that hip a little bit closer towards the earth. We're here for one more inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, start to walk the palms to place flat onto your mat. We're dropping this left knee onto the earth, sending the right palm back to reach behind you and maybe find that bind towards the left toes. From here, can you start to send your gaze, spiraling your chest towards the right side? And pressing that hip into the earth, take one more breath. Exhale without slingshotting this left foot down, release. Coming back into that lizard lunge, pressing the earth away from you, and then sweeping the right foot all the way back. Downward facing dog. Taking one breath to reset here. Inhale, both heels lift high towards the sky. Exhale, can you sink those heels a little bit deeper? And just take note, how does this down dog feel from the first down dog that we played with in the beginning of class? Are you nice and groovy, generously bending in both knees, having some fun, giving yourself a smile on your mats? And then bringing both feet together to touch. Zip up dog. Navel towards the spine, send the gaze towards the toes. Take one full breath here. Exhale, release the left heel high to the sky, three-legged dog. In this three-legged dog, sending the left knee towards the left elbow, and then stepping the left foot on the outside of both palms. Bringing both palms to shimmy on the inside of this left leg, starting to send the right thigh towards the earth to square off the hips. Options to stay in this lizard lunge, pressing the earth away from you, finding an up dog quality in your chest if that feels good. Or maybe you move a little bit deeper, coming down onto one elbow. Funky lizard. Maybe you bring both forearms onto the mat, sending that hip a little bit closer, finding the uncomfortability and the comfortability of this pose. Just like those uncomfortable conversations we sometimes have with the people in our lives to make sure that we're spreading the right message. Making sure that we're standing up for what we believe in, pressing into the forearms or the palms here. We hold a lot of emotion in our hips. So whatever comes up for you here, can you just let be? Control the breath, control the mind. You're here for one more inhale. Exhale, start to walk the palms towards the mat. Grounding down into this right knee. Untucking the right toe. And then sending the gaze behind you, seeing if you can bend at the knee and grab for this right toe. Opening up the chest, sending the gaze towards the toes. Take one big inhale here. And then exhale, releasing down without slingshotting that right foot. Sending the palms in between the left foot. And then sweeping that left foot all the way back, finding your way into that downward facing dog. In this downward facing dog, take one big breath. Exhale, coming down onto the knees, and then all the way down onto the glutes. From here, we bring the heels closer towards the glutes, grabbing the outside of the shin, giving ourselves a little squeeze. Maybe you grab underneath the thighs here. From here, we're going to do a little bit of core before we melt all the way down. Coming into our Navasana boat pose, grabbing underneath the thighs, sending both knees in towards the chest. We squeeze the thighs together. If this feels good, creating that nice right angle with our shins, maybe you invite yourself to open up the palms towards the ceiling. Activating in the core, squeezing those thighs together. Maybe you start to extend the legs, finding that high boat. Activating in the core, take one big inhale here. Exhale, low boat, finding that low boat here. Activating in the core, find that power within yourself, holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Invite those shakes into your practice. Lift the shoulders off the earth. Squeeze those thighs together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, releasing the shoulders all the way down towards the earth, grabbing both knees, letting that breath go, starting to move from side to side. Creating big circles here, first moving clockwise, giving that low back some love. And then switching the direction to counterclockwise. Inhale, both knees come in towards the chest, grabbing the shins, bring the nose towards the knees. Exhale, release both heels down to the earth. Setting up for bridge pose here. We're going to do one bridge pose and one wheel. If wheel is already in your practice and you'd like to play, you're more than welcome to find the back bend of your choice. Palms come towards the heels, pressing evenly into both feet. Both toes are facing the front of your mat, pressing into all four corners of both feet and both palms. On the next inhale, can you lift the hips, send the knees towards the front of the mat, finding your bridge pose. In this bridge pose, can you hold here, squeezing everything in that center line? Making sure that your glutes, though, are not squeezed like you usually have a penny in between them. Can you just release them and ground down into the feet? Stay super strong in both legs. One more breath in this bridge pose. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, releasing the glutes down towards the earth. And then windshield wiping the knees from side to side. If wheel pose is in your practice and you'd like to come with me, you're more than welcome. If you'd like to stick with another bridge, no judgment. Do whatever feels good to you in this moment. For wheel pose here, making sure the toes are pivoted towards the front of the room. Bringing the palms on the outside of both shoulder blades. So pressing into the palms on this next inhale, we're first going to send the crown of our head. Grounding evenly into both feet here. Inhale, lift the chest, send the crown of the head towards the mat. If that feels good, take one more breath. Exhale, press the palms into the earth, start to reach, finding that bridge pose, sending the gaze in between the palms. In this wheel pose, if you're here, exploring a little bit more, maybe you start to walk the palms a little bit closer towards the feet. In your bridge pose, or wheel pose, take one more inhale. And then exhale, slow and controlled, making your way out of that wheel or bridge, releasing the glutes down towards the earth, taking your time here. Low back comes onto the earth, bringing both knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Finding that counter stretch, maybe you find a happy baby. Bringing the feet on the outside and grabbing the outside of both feet here. Maybe you roll back and forth. Maybe you start to extend the legs straight. Who's to say what makes your baby happy? Take your time and explore here. Bringing both knees into the chest, giving yourself a nice squeeze. And then releasing the right foot down towards the earth, keeping the left knee towards the chest. Setting up for a supine twist, left knee comes all the way cross body. Bringing the palms out to a T, grounding down into both shoulder blades. Sending the gaze towards the left fingertips here. Can you simultaneously ground down into both shoulder blades while bringing this left knee a little bit closer towards the earth? Take one more breath here. Exhale, release. Inhale, both knees come in towards the chest. And then setting up for a supine twist on the opposite side, bringing the right knee in towards the chest, letting the left foot drop down towards the earth. Left knee comes cross body, supine twist on the opposite side, palms come out to a T. Maybe this left palm comes down towards the right thigh to help it move a little bit closer towards the earth. Simultaneously grounding down into both shoulder blades, sending the gaze towards the right fingers. Take one more breath here. Exhale, release. Both knees come in towards the chest. Give yourself a final squeeze, thanking yourself for showing up on your mats tonight for self-love and self-care. And especially for the Solutions Not Punishment Collaborative. Releasing both feet down onto the earth, taking up as much space as you need here for this final resting pose. This is what we worked for. This moment of bliss. letting all that magic fill our bodies, and taking one final collective breath together. Exhale, release. Shavasana. Taking a full body scan, relaxing in the crown of your head, softening in the space between both brows, uncrinkling the nose, and relaxing in the jaw, softening in the neck, the chest, the biceps, and the palms. Can you soften in the belly, in the hips, releasing in the thighs, unbuckling the knees, softening in the glutes, in the shins, in the ankles, and in the toes. Starting to bring awareness back to the body. Maybe you give those fingers a little wiggle. Inviting life back into our toes, we give those a little wiggle. And as you're waking up for the very first time this morning, reaching behind you for that good morning stretch. And then exhale, bring both knees into the chest, giving yourself a final squeeze. Choosing either the right side or the left side to fall onto a fetal position, using your bicep as a pillow. By exploring the unknown, you learn more about yourself in this process. While maybe that process will start to illuminate the darkness within you, knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with other people's darkness sometimes. Can you take a moment here? Pressing both palms into the earth, rising up to a seated position, facing any which way you desire. Bringing the palms to gather all this beautiful energy we've created as a community. And palms come down to heart center for gratitude. Remembering that in this time of chaos, gratitude helps us fall in love with the life that we already have. Taking a moment here to acknowledge that color that we breathed into our bodies. Taking one more collective breath together. Inhale, full belly breath. Fill the belly, fill the lungs. Let the chest rise. Exhale, release. The perfectly imperfect student in me bows, honors, and respects the teachers in all of you. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your Wednesday night practice. Namaste. Yogis, thanks again for joining me today. It's an absolute pleasure to lead you through this community flow. And just a reminder that 100% of all these donations will be going to SnaPCo, Solutions Not Punishment Collaborative, a Black trans-led, broad-based collaborative to restore an Atlanta where every person has the opportunity to grow and thrive without facing those barriers, especially in the criminal legal system that's in place now. So thank you so much for being here. The donation links are in my bio. And if you have any questions about anything we did today, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks again, yogis. The light in me recognizes the light and rainbows within all of you. Thank you so much.